in critical condition, you know, that can fuck a nigga up, man. They tried to kill that nigga, man. They really tried to take the nigga up out of here, bro. And yeah, man. And obviously a paid hit. You know what I'm saying? That's what his people was talking about. Like, I mean, how obvious can you get it being a paid hit? Like, you know, and everybody gonna do the old Bahu type shit. But that's a paid hit. You talking about prison. You talking about a man that ain't involved in nothing. Ain't nobody got Tory Lanez wrapped up in no nothing. The nigga in jail rich. You know what I'm saying? The nigga is in jail fucking rich. I'm clicking on this academics thread, but we not finna listen to it about the Tory Lanez shit. I'm just trying to find relevant things connected to it. But I don't know why I don't want to hear Ack. I just feel like Ack is gonna say, you know what? Let's listen to Ack. I just feel like Ack gonna say some shit that's gonna piss me off. I don't know why I feel that way, but I do feel that way. I feel like Ack is finna say some shit that's finna annoy the fuck out of me. So, I mean, let's see.
Okay, here we go.
All right, everybody. First off, my name is Caesar McDowell. I am the CEO and co-founder of Unite the People. We're a nonprofit organization that promotes social justice as well as provides affordable legal services for the underserved community here in the state of California. Today, we want to thank everybody for coming out, all of the press.
Hey, Amy, it was way more than the setup. I'm with you. I'm with Amy on that one. It was definitely a setup.
Today, we're going to hear some really, really compelling new evidence that you've never heard before. Our legal team will explain all of that to you. We will have updates on Tory Lanez, Mr. Peterson, on how he's doing. It's really sad to see the situation that he's in, and we think it's time, enough is enough. It's time to bring the brother home. So with that, I would like to bring up our lead consultant, Mr. Walter Roberts.
Good morning. We are here today to bring to your attention some information Unite the People believes is exculpatory in Mr. Daystar Peterson's case, professionally known as Tory Lanez. Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the
Tory Lanez case, baby,
Yall Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. Oh shit. Oh my God.
I think he's leaking who got Tory stabbed. Holy shit. I'm sitting here zoned out listening and was like, I wasn't really listening. And I'm like, whoa, I think this guy just said who got Tory stabbed. Hold on.
Yall Caldwell was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell. Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf. The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out. But given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover. Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial.
Yep.
As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others.
Amen.
Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Ms. Pete, did not shoot at Ms. Pete, or did not assault Ms. Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Ms. Harris's DNA?
It was 2 suspects because Meg can't be a suspect for herself.
Why wasn't the driver of the car?
See, this what act wrong. You see what act jump in? Yeah, but that was a female's gun. Who to say that Meg never put her fingerprints on that gun? I think it was a pink gun, chat, if I'm correct. I think it was a pink gun. So who's to say Meg never put her fingerprints or her hands on that gun? Huh? Who's to say Meg ain't put her fingerprints or her hands on that gun? Exactly.
Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense? We don't know. It should have been taken. It is Unite the People's understanding, regular LAPD practice at a crime scene like that, anybody who's there, the DNA is taken. Another irregularity. Why, at Ms. Harris's police interview, was a non-lawyer, non-family member record company executive allowed to participate? Highly irregular situation. Normally, we see cases, strangers are not allowed in these things, but it was in this case. All of these things point to the highly irregular nature of his trial and his conviction. It is our contention that he was wrongly convicted. And while we at first were willing to let the process play out, it is our contention now that if he is not pardoned or released promptly, he may never come out. And that would be the ultimate injustice, is that he gets killed in prison for something he did not do. At this time, I'd like to bring up Mr. Gianno Caldwell, a media member who was working on that op-ed for the New York Post.
Oh, wow. So they're bringing up the guy who actually wrote the article. Now we get spicy.
Thank you for coming today.
Okay,
my name
brother.
Is Gianno Caldwell.
A black dude.
Gianno.
Chat, let me know if the volume's good. If y'all can hear everything all right, let me know if the volume's good.
Institute for Public Safety at CaldwellInstitute.org. I am also a member of the press for almost a decade now. I've been looking into Daystar Peterson's case for almost 6 months now, professionally known as Tory Lanez. And after reviewing the evidence, the reporting, and the legal analysis, I've come to the conclusion that Tory Lanez was railroaded by the former district attorney, George Gascon. He was also wrongly convicted. I believe if Jesus Christ was Tory Lanez's attorney, George Gascon would do whatever in his power to ensure that Tory Lanez lost that case. Tory Lanez's defense team have alleged the withholding of exculpatory evidence, prosecutorial misconduct, among other issues that I was compelled to write an opinion piece for the New York Post. It is true that last week, the New York Post editors reached out to 3 parties, one being George Gascon, Megan Pete's team, and Kelsey Harris. It is also true that Megan's team was the only ones that responded back for that request for comment.
Commercial. We have a commercial, but it's
Big
over
ideas.
now.